All right, I'm here with Ovy, and so let's get started with an intro. Okay, Ovy, it's good to talk to you, man. How you
Good
been?
to see you too. Good, good. I was shocked about your intro. It's pretty good.
Oh, you like that?
It's pretty good.
To catch the attention. Well, man, I just thought it would be a great time to catch up. We did an interview once, and I thought it went really well. Got a lot of attention, and here we are. Everything has changed in the last year. I think it's almost
Big
been a year.
time, big
Man,
time, brother. Big time change.
well, I guess my question for you is, how have you been affected by the You have several companies, but you are the biggest repair shop in the Midwest. So, how's it affected you? How's the pandemic affected you?
Well, definitely the pandemic, I guess, affect pretty much the entire economy, and every business in this country suffered. In my opinion, uh, definitely the repair shops was one of them, which was affected. Think about that. The margins on a repair shop are pretty small. They're not the high margins. They are pretty tiny margins. So as soon as the shops get affected, that you lose basically from the margin. So basically, your profit could be like zero or none. But we managed it pretty good because we were able. I mean, we were selected by some municipalities to be the response unit for their equipments for maintenance. So we passed through it. We passed through it. Money wise, did I make money? I can say that, but we passed through it. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting that you guys tapped into. You kind of had to pivot to really hit get a few municipalities to work with you. That's smart.
Well, the
And
most important thing was Judah to keep all the people employed and to
yeah,
keep everybody, to still have the jobs and make sure they have money and to provide food and whatever need for their family. Because, very well as I know, and I guess everybody who listens to us knows that a lot of people lost their jobs,
yeah,
and when you have like two, three, five kids, and you're the only one working,
yeah.
mm,
So
mm,
you were able to keep everybody employed, full employment.
absolutely. Actually, we even hire more, a few more.
Wow, that's awesome. Wow. Well, so as you have progressed, as you've obviously, you work with a lot of people, a lot of different companies that service trucks, service the mechanic side of trucking and repair. What have you noticed about our economy? Do you feel like we're going to be okay? What is your take on where the economy is at during
Well,
the pandemic?
Judah, everything I think so. Everything is going to be okay at one point. When I don't know. Definitely, that all this COVID affect everybody, and affect us. As I told you before, affect every single industry in this country. But at this point is really depending on the companies how fast or how much they want to get back on their own legs. Uh, how fast I can tell, I cannot tell. I mean, as trucking company, if you want to ask me about, I mean, you asked me about that perspective.
Yeah,
Well,
trucking.
the first period, of the COVID, it was good. Remember when everybody was buying toilet paper, paper towel, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It
Because
was like,
everybody needed to get that, right? Like companies needed trucks to take it to them.
yes, but don't forget, it was good, but was not that great. What I'm trying to say is that before you used to run with $1 a mile, $1.20. If you do 125, you were like a golden boy, you know. And when this pandemic hit, we made probably 170, which 170 is actually between 150 and 170. It's your expense per mile per the whole equipment. You have employees, drivers, fuel, call it name it, etc.
Yeah.
But all this lasts for about a month.
Okay.
month and a half. So kind of like April, middle of April, when the whole market was saturated and people has like more than enough toilet paper and paper towel. You know,
Oh,
at that point, everything started like going down and went
I
down rough.
see.
It went like 9 cents a mile, 80 cents a mile at that point. So basically,
So
everything you did extra, you lost it in the next part.
wow. So many of the companies that were selling, the retail shops and stuff that were selling the toilet paper, they probably just stocked up way too much, right? You're like,
They stock up way too much, or the people by themselves stock up a lot. I mean, I got people, they have. I mean, if you go to their houses, probably they still have paper towel for another year. So they stock themselves too much. The people, I guess. But the third part, I mean, I like to split this COVID in like three parts. First, I mean, the initial one, the middle one, and the end of the COVID. Because in my opinion, now this is already like political at this point. So at the end of the COVID, like July, mid of June, things start moving again, and it's going good. I can say it's going good
really?
by the numbers. I mean, you definitely see that the company almost doubled the money now. Whatever they were doing it in February, March, April.
So
So
per mile, how much is it past $1, $1.50? Where is it at per mile as far as trucking?
right now, I think so. The average of my company is about 230.
It's gone up to 230 a mile?
Well, keep it in mind that I got a lot of contracts. I entered into some contracts now, and that helps a lot. I mean, when you get contracts, you get like USPS contracts direct. You are paid like more money, more responsibilities, more hours of work. Less hours to sleep, but it pays. And you have to do what you got to do to save a company when you start to save a company. It's
Yeah,
not like what I wanted; it's what I have to. So.
I hear you. Yeah, and
And also, I have a good crew right now. Most of them are new and they learn. I teach all of them. I mean, most of them I teach them, and we got the golden crew here. So we're doing pretty
yeah,
good.
excellent. So that's more for city logistics, right? And as far as
Yeah.
uh, the repair, how's that been sort of steady, or how's that been going?
Repair is still steady.
Point.
Repair is still steady. I mean, as you know, we have auto repair, body repair, and semi-truck repair and trailers, right? So auto repair start doing better, because people start getting up from the house and they start. I mean, the car's broke down, so they start fixing it. You have no other option.
Yeah,
Body shop, it's always good. I mean, body shop always gonna do good because, you do truck cars. We have accounts with Amazon.
thanks.
We have accounts with Amazon. We have accounts with FedEx. For the body repair, for the mechanical repair. So they have like small cars, vans, and trucks. So basically, they flow them all through Crown Point, which is pretty cool on this.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, lately we get pretty busy. I mean, we get like probably 7 to 10 FedEx every day. And
Wow.
probably like just in body we get, I would say, about like 5 to 10 Amazon going every week.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I noticed you guys are packed as far as body repair, I'm sure that's like you said. It's a lot of people staying home and needing or seeing this as a great opportunity to get their repairs done on their cars. I noticed a lot of people stayed home. I read an article about a lot of people staying home and doing stocks. A lot of people on their phones are doing stocks these days while they're staying in quarantine. You've been doing stocks for a long time.
I'm doing for about like 10 years, 10, 12 years.
So you're ahead of the curve with that. Have you seen the stock market fluctuate as far as like more people getting more money coming in, or what have you seen?
Judah, I mean, the first part of COVID, I think so. The billionaires, shoot themselves. That's all I think.
Everything went down, right?
It doesn't. It went rock down. Bottom.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't believe we're gonna go so low. So thanks God, I sold pretty much almost everything in January. Because I was thinking to save money for the company to have it for the February, March, April. Because you don't know what's going on. So I pre-sold, shares to make sure it's money in the company to run it. Because it was bad. Remember, it was
Yeah.
was a bloodbath, for the trucking industry. So I sold pretty much almost everything, and then when everything went down, that was the time. So yes,
You got in. You got in at the bottom. I mean, sell low, buy high, right? I mean, no, opposite. Sell high, buy low, and that's what you basically did.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, when you bought back in, were there certain stocks that being in the industry, being in the trucking industry, were there certain stocks? Maybe, I mean, as I'm trading, some good leads on some good stocks as far as companies that work, that should be going up as far as the trucking industry goes.
Well, you're always gonna talk with people. You're gonna see news and stuff like that. But at the end, it's gonna be you have to do an analysis on the stock on the for you to spend the money, if it's worth for you to spend the money, if it's not worth for you to spend the money, what do you think is going to happen? So definitely there are some companies. I mean, I can tell that, I heard one of the companies. I mean, I bought like Volvo, I bought Freightliner, I bought Navistar, I bought airlines companies, I bought multiple stuff now, oil companies, but I knew that, for example, Navistar was in plan to be bought by Volkswagen, and they offer a pretty fair, good price on it, So I bought them when the share was like 14.78, something like that, Then suddenly went like a 30, 34, and now this week or last week actually, sorry, because this is Monday. Last week, they Volkswagen offered them like over $40 a share, for the company. So the share went to over $40, So I tripled my money, whatever you want to call it, in a matter of like 5 months.
Holy cow! So Navistar
was one, it's yeah. I mean, this was, I didn't bought them for like a short term. I don't thought it's gonna be that quick, but it worked. But I bought a lot of other shares, like on a CCL. I bought on airlines company. I bought even on Hertz when I heard they went out of business. I said for sure it's gonna happen something. So I made like hundreds of percents on top of it.
Wait, Hertz went. So they went down, and you bought them when they went down.
When it was down, I said, okay, I'm gonna throw some money into it. I want to see what's gonna happen. I mean, what you can do, just lose it or win it. I like to take risk on those. So I bought them, and I would say probably like a week later, they like 5, 6, 7 times more than whatever I bought them. And I saw them, and definitely after that they went out of business. I mean, it's no question asked. They filed up the bankruptcy, Chapter 11. So.
Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, I guess there's always opportunities as a lot of these stocks go down. Still, people need to do life, and so there are stocks. There are stocks that we need to look at, and so Navistar, Volvo, has that been doing well?
All of them are doing, how it is. Those I bought them for long term, I didn't bought them for short term, So for short term was like was a Hertz, that was a very short term.
Yeah, when it goes up at the top,
I knew it's gonna go up to a certain limit, because they start putting all the fleet for sale. When they put the fleet for sale, people is gonna buy shares. They say, okay, now it's time to buy shares. So you just buy shares, and then just sell them when they say, okay, we almost sold the fleet, just sell them right away, because they're gonna go down. It's no way it's gonna go up more up than that.
That's what a lot of people don't realize about business, is that when people sell off, the stock goes up because they got an influx of a lot of money, right? Like you get a lot of money from selling off a lot of stuff. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, and also, there are multiple companies, but I got companies where I was about to make over 3,000%, but by the time I was traveling, by the time I took my phone, I did only like 800-900%, but I was okay, better than none, right? So.
Well, you got to get somebody to do that for you. Can't you get somebody to?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good idea, but I'd like, this kind of stuff I like to do myself, because I would
be hands-on.
I can judge you or judge somebody else what you did, why you didn't sell it. It's gonna be my decision. I lost it. Move on. That's it.
Oh yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I lost a lot in the last years. I mean, not this year, but in 2018, 2017, 2019 too. I lost a ton crap of money on those. That's a business.
Wow. Do you feel like you're back on top? You're back at
yeah. I'm positive, put it this way.
Nice.
Right. I'm not in red on that.
You're in the, what is it, in the green or whatever?
In the black.
Black. Sorry, I don't know the terms. Well, speaking, you said that a lot of things are at this point political, and so one thing I kind of wanted to segue into talking about. We talked about the economy, stock market. What do you think about politics, though? As we talk about
politics, it's always like a very interesting, a very touchy subject. With some of the people, which for me I don't care too much. I'm not a political guy. Definitely, I'm not. I don't call myself Democrat or Republican whatsoever. But definitely, if I judge based on what happened today, and I will have to choose one of the party, I will be 100% Republican.
yeah,
Judah, I mean, just see what's going on in this country. In the last 4 years, this Democrat Party went so far left that they did nothing, absolutely nothing good, nor even too bad for their own people here. They just try to attack a guy who's a president. Leave him alone. Let him 4 years. Let him do his term, and the people will decide if he's good or not. You just try to make your part to make sure the people are doing good. So basically, what I saw, in these 4 years, all they did is just to attack this man, this Trump. I mean, do I like him? Yes and no. I mean, he did some things which I don't like it, obviously. But at the end of the day, if I'm looking, to the whole picture, he did what's good for his house. I mean, if you come into my house, if I tell you, hey, you take your shoes off, you take your shoes off. If not, get out. That's it. Simple. I mean, it's black and white. It's not gray area over there. So he did pretty good. He's not a political guy. He's definitely a businessman, but he did absolutely what's good for his own country. And in this country, I'm into it. You are into it. So I think so. He did what's good for us. I mean, look at these riots. Look at this, all these, looters, killing police, dead life matter, dead life matter. This is, I mean, definitely is just political. It's not questionless at this point. COVID couldn't take him off. The impeachment couldn't take him off. They have to try somewhere else, something else, because they have another 1 month or 2 months until election.
Well, if he gets, do you think he's going to get elected, or do you think it's going to be Biden?
Listen to me. I'm coming from a country where the corruption is like super, super, super high. Okay, Romania was a communist country. Everybody, I mean, who knows about Romania? It was a communist country until 1989, December.
I didn't know all the way up until 99.
No, 1989.
89. That's no later. Like that's more like that.
Yeah. So keep in mind that after that, the people who came to the power was actually called Democrats, but they were actually the people who worked for the communists. So in other words, the country got so bad in 20 years that even the son of the ex-communist guy said that whatever my dad built up in his reign, you will not be able to paint the buildings in 20 years. And he was perfectly right. They don't even be able to paint it. They actually sold everything. They destroyed everything, corruption left and right. They give laws just to protect them, but to put people who stealing like less money in jail, but them because they steal hundreds of millions, they could live freely. I mean, definitely it's bad. And if you ask a guy, how do you think it's going to be, or who I want to win, definitely I want to win Trump. Because I'm coming from a country which I know what socialism it is.
Yeah. It's hard to find somebody from Eastern Europe or from Europe in general that, well, for me, particularly Eastern Europe, that's been under communism that would want a Democrat or socialist government. I mean, it feels like it's gone so far to the left.
You know what I will do? I will just take them all and I will send them over there to that, whatever, Belarus, whatever is right now the communist guy. I will send them there for 3 months and give them $1,000. They're gonna come back. They're gonna be the best guys in America ever. Doesn't matter black, white, green, yellow, red, whatever color you are. I bet on you.
Just to get a taste of it and see. I'm sure you still feel what it was like.
I mean, don't forget, I came from there because of the corruption. I don't want to stay in a country full of corruption. I mean, you want to be a judge, you have to pay bribe, to become a judge. I mean, why I should pay bribe to become a judge? I mean, it makes no sense to me. It's like black and white. I mean, you make me corrupt before I even start doing my business, over there. So no, it's definitely bad. So I really hope Trump will win. I think so he's going to win, but don't forget, let's go back to the point. You said, who you think is going to win? Well, I know into the corrupted, because they do the election via mail, very tight for Trump. If it would be a in-person election, I bet on whatever. I put $1 million right now down that he's going to win with at least 70%.
Wow.
At least.
Landslide.
No question asked. But because it's mail, I see that happen in my country with the mail. I see all that crap,
Really?
Yeah, they was buying. I mean, the dead people was voting. You're voting 10 times. You don't even knew that. So
That's interesting. Yeah. Well, let's hope that the right man gets in. Now, either way, what do you see as far as for business, for trucking repair?
put it this way: you have to choose between two things. I mean, no matter what, I think it's gonna be good for minimum 8 months, and then going up depending on who's winning. I mean, if he's winning this Biden, without cannot even spell his full name, that guy. If if that guy is going to win, will be probably like an 8 months to 1 year max. I give good because he's gonna open China. That's the first thing he's gonna do because China is the one who scratches back. China is the one who's gonna direct him. So when they open the border when they open the commercial back with China, the business back with China. I mean, keep in mind there are like tens, hundreds of ships waiting to come back into the country here with freight. I mean, the ports are super loaded with freight over there. So at that point, it's going to be a lot of demand for trucks. So that's going to go good. I mean, keep in mind, once he's winning, it takes at least 30 days or 60 days until he's finishing all his crap with China. Then after that, it takes at least 30 days for a ship to get here. So no matter what's going to be, I think so it's going to be okay next year until probably fall. If Trump will win, I think personally, on the way his business is going to be okay until probably toward the end of the third year of his, election. Because after that, people will stop spending again. Because don't forget, I mean, if you don't know what's going to happen, you don't want to throw your money into the wind. I mean, I've got a lot of friends which are Democrats too, or and not the far left one, Democrats or Republicans too, which they say they don't invest nothing right now until election done. Because they said if Trump win, they will invest right away. They're ready to build up plazas and stuff like that. But if Biden win, they said they're not going to do nothing.
Yeah, well, that's interesting because that, we hope to do this again, and maybe we should track and see. And so even me, I want to see. I want to kind of take out all my money now and kind of see what happens during the election. So as soon as the election happens, if Trump gets in, put the money in. If Biden gets in, wait a little bit and see. Kind of like that, huh?
I kind of like that. I told you, I think personally, whatever is going to be like 8 months, 6 to 1 year max, I give it. If it's Democrats, it's going to be okay. If Trump wins, I bet if Trump wins, it's going to be a big change in America.
Big uptick.
Well, all this Corona crap is going to be gone. That's number one. All these riots is going to be gone. And I think so. He's gonna eliminate them immediately. Because they don't do just bad to the businesses. I mean, I don't know if you saw the guy in Kenosha, whose business was, the whole dealership was set on fire. He committed suicide. He shot himself. He owed $2.5 million to a bank. And the insurance did not want to cover definitely it's not good. So I think so he's going to have to stop this immediately, no matter what. If it's the National Guard, if it's the military, whatever he wants to do, you got to have to stop all this crap,
Well, I appreciate your hopeful tone. You saying basically either way, 2021 is going to be pretty amazing because
I'm not saying amazing. I'm saying it's going to be okay.
Oh, it's going to be okay. But I mean, for business, it seems like it's pretty hopeful for business either way, even if it's just for a short-term, shallow couple of months.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can prepare after that for the worst. You know how it is. You always have to prepare in the good times, for the bad times. I did a mistake last time. I didn't prepare that good for the bad times, and But I passed through whole 2019 with no losses. I mean, I'm talking about like major losses or closing businesses or stuff like that. Thanks God. It was very hard. Yes, but now we get back to normal. We sell some stocks in January. Don't forget that. So we run it, and now we have some other stocks which hopefully is gonna make good money and like that.
All right. Great. Well, if you don't mind, probably check in with you again and see, keep on checking on the state of how things are going in the industry and with you and your business. I think it's wildly interesting, and I've noticed a lot of people have been checking in, and I'm sure people are interested to hear. So if it's okay, we keep checking in.
anytime you want it and they have some time for it, I'm more than happy to
Okay.
chat with you. You're a great guy.
Thanks a lot, brother. Thanks
Yeah.
for all the information, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time. Bye bye.
Thanks for everybody who tuned in. We'll see you.
Bye.